We'll begin with internal reconstruction. See, from this, every attempt they ensure that they ask for minimum 7 marks, maximum up to 14 marks in the money. They test you questions. Okay. So, what is internal reconstruction? Simple. If your company is running in a loss, you just do a process where you write off your past losses. It's a process of capital reduction through which you are able to write your past losses. When a company is running in a loss, who will suffer to the maximum? Shareholders. So convene a general body meeting, go for passing a resolution to reduce the capital. For them also, there is no other go. They have to reduce the capital. So what is the entry you will pass when a liability reduces? Liability account, data to which account? Capital reduction account. It's like share capital of 10 crore will become share capital of 2 crore, 3 crore. Whatever is reducing, you transfer to which account? Same way, try to negotiate with the preference shareholders, debenture holders, lenders, whichever the liability reduces, liability account data to which account? Capital reduction account. Sometimes we will convert the liabilities. What do you mean by convert the liabilities? For debentures, we may exchange shares. So cancel the old liability and create which one? The new liability. It's like debentures account debtor to equity share capital. Creditors account debtor to equity share capital, like that. Profit, if any, will be transferred to what? Capital reduction. Suppose if there is a loss also, it will be adjusted in which account? Capital reduction. So when a liability reduces, transfer to capital reduction. When a liability is getting converted, the difference will transfer to which account? Capital reduction account. Then, though it is a loss-making company, you would not have filed returns with ROC. You would not have filed income tax return. If it is a company, whether there is a profit or loss, you must file what? Return. If you don't file return, you have to pay some penalty charges, some minimum bonus, etc. you have to pay. So if we want to record any liability or unrecorded liability, capital reduction account data to liability. Why, sir? It's a loss, charge it to capital reduction account. To which account? Liability account. It can be any liability. Bringing new creditors, workman compensation, bonus, income tax disputed claim, all those things. Very simple logic. Liability will have which balance? Credit balance, debit to reduce it to capital reduction. If you exchange, cancel old liability, bring the new liability, balance you transfer to capital reduction. So capital reduction account where all profits and losses will be recorded. Then if the liability increases, capital reduction account data to which account? Liability account. Then using these profits, we will write off the assets. Capital reduction account data to various assets. Assets will have which balance? To write off, credit them. It can be accumulated losses, preliminary expenses, discount on issue, underwriting commission, all those things. Any other asset given in the question. You write off. Then, even though it is a loss-making company, some assets value would have appreciated, like land, building, and the money. Asset account data to which account? Capital reduction account. Because increase in asset is a gain. So debit the asset further, it's a gain, credit to capital reduction account. Then if there is any reconstruction expenses, because you'll employ some financial experts, consultants, all those people, legal charges, etc. will be there. What is entry? Capital reduction account data to cash. Any balance in capital reduction, it will be transferred to which account? Capital reserve account. I repeat, when a liability reduces, or when the liability is offering some discount, or we get some discounts through a negotiation process, debit the liability. Why debit the liability? Liability will have which balance? Credit balance, debit to close. The profit will be transferred to which account? Capital reduction account. To convert liabilities like debentures, etc. to equity shares, cancel old liability, debenture or loans or creditors, to which one? Share capital. Balance will go to capital reduction. For increase in liability, capital reduction account data to liability account. Capital reduction account data to which account? Liability account. In class number be component. If there is a loss like P&L account or miscellaneous expenses, other assets, you write off. If there is any increase in asset account data to which account? Capital reduction account. Expenses you charge it. Any balance, it will be transferred to which account? Capital reserve account. So how an examination question will be? They will give a balance sheet. They will give you all the adjustments. Simple. In your mind, more than the entry, is it a gain or loss? If it is a gain, you will credit which account? capital reduction account, debit the liability, or asset goes up, asset account debit to capital reduction. If there is a loss, for example, old liability debentures 5 lakhs, but we exchange 6 lakhs of new shares. Is it a gain or loss? For 5 lakhs, we exchange 6 lakhs. Now, is it a gain or loss? Loss, that extra 1 lakh, we will charge it to which account? Capital reduction. Any expense, it will be charged to capital reduction. Any expense, it will be charged to capital reduction. Any asset written off, it will be charged to which account? Capital reduction account. Any balancing for in reserve, it is not a ordinary profit, capital profit transferred to which one? Capital reserve. For doing this internal reconstruction, you have to prepare the scheme, get the approval by passing a special resolution with the shareholders through the shareholders meeting. Only then you can proceed. So accounting aspects only this much. Shall we? Okay. This entry or these entries, no need to remember actually. Okay. You will yourself will tell when I go to a question. Look at this. This okay. First we'll go to this. As part of reconstruction scheme getting better limited, the following is agreed upon. Shareholder will receive 10,000 shares of 50 each. For that, what they are going to get? 15,000 shares of 10 each. Preference shares 2/5 of the total equity shares. So they pay them 50,000 and transfer the remaining to which account? Reconstruction account is nothing but capital reduction account. Nothing but which account? Capital reduction account. What is the entry you will pass for this? Old share capital, equity share capital account data to whatever is given. To equity shares, to preference shares, to cash. Balance will go to which account? Capital reduction. Here they call it as which one? Reconstruction account. 8% preference share capital, 3 lakhs is there. We are going to reduce the shares to what? 50. Original face value was 100. So what is the entry you will pass? There are two methods. One is direct capital to capital reduction, or old preference share capital account data to new preference share capital to what? Capital reduction, like that. Debentures plus interest 56,000. Okay, 3/4 of the amount is paid off. Remaining is paid in what? Cash. They just ask you to pass which one? Journal entries. Try to pass entries, then recollect. If there is a doubt, leave the space and go to the next one. 3 journal entries you need to pass. Try to pass the entries, friends. I'm not sharing the screen for next 2-3 minutes. Try to pass the entries. First one, what is the entry we need to pass? Old equity share capital account data to new equity share capital. How many shares are given? 15,000 shares of 10 each. 15,000 shares of 10 each, 1,50,000. 12% preference share capital will be for the 2/5 of the amount. That will be how much? 2 lakhs. How much is paid in cash? 50,000. 5 lakh. This is the old capital debited. This is a new thing exchanged. Balance will go to which account? They use the word reconstruction account, so we let us also use reconstruction. Please remember, wherever they ask you journal entry, let it be amalgamation or internal reconstruction, you have to give what? Narration. Narration is mandatory. Sometimes the exam question they will specify without narration you pass journal entry like that. But if they ask you, normally journal entry, you do it with the narration only. For preference shareholders, what is the old value? 3 lakh, which is 100 each. 50 each, it will be half the amount. So old preference share capital account data, 8% preference share capital account data. To new preference share capital will be half the amount. Balance will go to which account? Reconstruction account. So 1 lakh plus 1 lakh 50 is there. Next end upon row. Debentures 2 lakhs plus accrued interest how much? 56,000. So totally we have to pay 2,56,000. Debit the liability, debit the receiver. Debenture accrued interest. Wait, listen to it. How much is waived? 3/4 is waived. So how much we have to pay? 1/4 we have to pay. So 1/4 of the total amount, 64,000 pay pannu. Balance will go to which account? Reconstruction account. Since no other adjustments are given, all these amounts will be transferred to capital reserve. All these amounts add up and transfer to which account? Capital reserve account. Take up this. Any doubt in any of these entries? Any doubt in this? Shall we? This is a May 2024 question paper, of course. Equity shares of 100 each is given, 8% preference shares are given, 10% debentures are given, trade payables are given. We are given goodwill, PP, trade receivable, inventory, cash, own debentures, nominal value 6 lakhs. Own debenture means our company's own debentures. P&L account balance is given to us. Equity shareholders will be subdivided into what? 10 shares of 10 each. Then after the subdivision, equity share capital will be reduced by 40%. Preference shares, dividends are in arrears for 4 years. They agree to 75% of their dividend claim to accept the preference share for the balance. Own debentures 2,40,000 nominal value sold at 98% come interest. Remaining debentures were cancelled like that it is given. Debenture holders agreed to accept on machinery book value 9 lakh and full settlement is given. Remaining plant and machinery is valued is given. Then they have given you revised value of assets. Goodwill P&L account to be written off. The company paid 60,000 as penalty to avoid capital commitment of how much? 12 lakhs. Interest 10% paid every year on 31st March is given. They ask you to prepare past journal entry, prepare capital reduction account, and prepare which account? Bank account. They don't ask balance sheet. Only journal entries, capital reduction account, and which one? Bank account. I request you to read through the question once again. Full question at least once or twice, then we will continue. I'm not sharing screen, friends. While going through, just don't go through. I request you to consider what kind of adjustment to be done, what kind of journal entry to be passed. I request you to go through. Have we gone through? Shall we? Let us work out adjustment by adjustment. It's a very good question. What is the first one? Equity shares are subdivided into 10 shares of 10 each. Now look at the equity share capital now. It is how much? 100 each. 10 shares of 10 each, it will become again what? Each share 100 rupees. Now it's going to be 10 shares of 100 each. So how many shares are there? 60 lakhs divided by 100. How many shares are there? 60,000 shares. In future, it is going to be 10 each. The same value now. Why same value? One share 100. Now 10 shares of 10 each in the market. Then thereafter, how much is reduced? 40% reduced. Equity share capital account to capital reduction account. Any doubt in it? 100 each, 60 lakhs, 10 each also, 10 shares of 10 each, it will make to the same amount. Then 40% reduced, transfer to which account? Capital reduction account. Take it up. We'll go one by one. Next பாருங்க என்ன சொல்லிருக்காங்க. What is given next? Preference shares dividend arrears for how many years? 4 years. Arrears for 4 years. They waived 75% of the dividend. The question is, in the liability side, is it recorded as liability? Arrears of dividend is not recorded as a liability. An unrecorded liability, if it is waived, no entry, no entry. But it's not 100% waived. How much percentage waived? 75% waived. How much we have to pay? 25% we have to pay. Wait. Unrecorded liability waived, no entry required. But if unrecorded liability is paid, now, is it a gain or loss? Loss. Record panna the liability pay panna, it's a loss. For that we have to pass entry. 21 lakh into 8% into 4 years into 25% we have to pay. Any loss, it will be adjusted with which account? Cap reduction account data to bank account. We are paying. We are not giving shares. We are paying. Accept payment for the balance. Why capital reduction account data? Unrecorded liability being paid or becoming payable. Capital reduction account data to which account? Bank account. Next. Owned debentures 2,40,000 nominal value was sold at what? 98 come interest சொல்றாங்க. Wait. What is the total face value of debentures? For 6 lakhs, how much we invested? For 6 lakhs, we purchased our own debentures. The face value is 6 lakhs. How much we invested? 5,76,000 we invested. How much of it own debentures are sold? 2,40,000 own debentures are sold. Now, proportionately, what will be the cost? For 6 lakhs, invested amount is 5 lakhs 76 means for the 2 lakh 40,000, how much would have been invested? Proportionately, what is the cost? 2 lakh 30,400. That is a proportionate cost of debenture sold. But what is the sale value given? It is sold for 2 lakh 48,000. Sold at how much is given? 98 come interest into 98 by 100. 2 lakh 35 200. This is the price at which we sold. I repeat. Any doubt in this working? We sold it for 98 அப்படின்னா 98 for every 100 rupees of debenture 235 200 நம்ம சேல் பண்ணிருக்கோம். Is it a profit or loss? Cost of investment is 2 lakh 30 400. We sold it for 2 lakh 35 200. Profit. We sold for a profit. Company selling it for a profit. So profit on sale is how much? 4,800. Wait பண்ணுங்க. What is the journal entry we'll pass? We'll get money. What is the entry? Bank account debtor to own debenture investment 230 400. Profit will be transferred to capital reduction account. Profit will be transferred to which account? Capital reduction account. I repeat, we sold own debentures of 2 lakh 40. For 6 lakhs, if the amount invested is 5 lakh 76, for 2 lakh 40, how much? Proportionately, 2 lakh 30,400. We sold it for 98, come interest சொல்றாங்க. Profit on sale is how much? 4,800. Bank account debtor, own debentures account debtor to which account? Capital reduction account. Out of 6 lakhs, 2 lakh 40,000 face value of own debentures are sold. Sold means the company has sold and got the money. Take it up. Please take it up. Next. So out of 6 lakhs, we sold how much? 2 lakh 40,000. What about the remaining? Next adjustment. Remaining owned debentures are cancelled. Remaining owned debentures were cancelled. What is the entry we pass? Debentures account debtor to own debentures. How much remaining amount? 6 lakhs minus 2 lakh 40 balance 3 lakh 60,000. To own debentures proportionate output பண்ணுங்க. Same way. For 6 lakhs, if it is 5 lakh 76. For 6 lakhs, if it is 5 lakh 76. For 3 lakh 60, how much? Okay, 6 lakhs like we sold 2 lakh 49 balance 3 lakh 60,000 face value. Okay, same way 5 lakh 76,000 if it is for 6 lakhs. What is for 3 lakh 60? 3 lakh 45 600. The profit will go to capital reduction. This 14,400 is a balancing. Any doubt in debentures account data? 6 lakhs in the 2 lakh 40 sold, balance 3 lakh 60. To own debentures proportionately, 5 lakh 76 is for 6 lakhs now. What is for 2 lakh 40? Proportionately, sorry, what is for 3 lakh 60? Proportionately, 345 600. Balance profit goes to capital reduction. What is given next? Debenture holders 6 lakhs agree to accept one plant and machinery of 9 lakhs book value in full settlement. Debentures, okay, 10 lakhs we need to cancel. What is the machinery value? 9 lakh. They are taking over 9 lakhs of machinery for how much? 6 lakhs. Is it a loss or gain? Loss adjusted in capital reduction. Debit the receiver, of course, credit what goes out. Balancing for is a loss for us. 9 lakhs asset, they are taking over for settling a liability of 6 lakhs now. Balance will go to which account? Capital reduction account. Fine. This is 10,000 cash flow. Shall we? What is given next? Remaining plant, property, and equipment is valued at 60 lakhs. What is the value in balance sheet? Adale, how much of book value taken over by debenture holders? So remaining PP is 63 lakhs. That is revalued at, so loss. Total minus taken over by debenture holders. Balance PP is there. That is revalued at 60 lakhs. Means it's a loss or gain. Loss, you will adjust in which account? Capital reduction account debit and a loss. To PPE 3 lakhs. Take up this. What is the next one? Were valued at 15 lakh, 13 lakh, 9 lakh 44,000. This is a revalued amount. What was the old balance sheet value? Trade payable paranga. What is the old balance sheet value? 16 lakh 80 liability value. Now it is how much? 15 lakhs. When a liability reduces, it's a profit or loss? Profit. What is the entry you will pass? Trade payable account. Data to which account? Capital reduction account. Balance sheet value 16 lakh 80. Revalued amount 15 lakhs. So debit the liability, credit the gain to which account? Capital reduction account. Next part. What is given next? What about other assets? The values reducing or increasing? Compare trade receivable inventory book value with this one. Reduced இல்லையா? Then you write off P&L account, you write off goodwill எல்லாமே சொல்லிருக்காங்க. What is the entry you will pass? You can pass a combined entry. Capital reduction account data to the trade receivable inventory. Goodwill they ask you to eliminate. P&L account they ask you to eliminate. You can pass a combined entry. Or capital reduction account data total எடுத்துக்கலாம். Trade receivable book value to revised value பாருங்க. Book value 13 lakh 75,000, revised value 13 lakhs. Inventory 9 lakh 80, revised value is 9 lakh 44,000. Difference to trade receivable to inventory. Goodwill they ask you to write off fully. To P&L account they ask you to eliminate. Total amount you debit to which account? Capital reduction account. Capital reduction account it out to various assets. Is it over? What is given next? The company paid 60,000 as penalty to avoid capital commitment of 12 lakhs. Are you paying 12 lakhs or just 60,000? 60,000. Capital reduction account it out to bank. Whatever is paid unrecorded liability payment is a loss for us. Of course, interest is paid on 30th March, 31st March. On 1st April, the court approved the scheme. So just next day we are buying. All the transaction happens on what? Subsequent day. No need to pay interest. 31st till 31st March they paid interest. We are doing all the entries on what date? 1st April. Na? Then there is no need to pay any entry for pass any entry for debenture interest. And they ask you to prepare capital reduction account. Capital reduction account. Tell me the amounts to and buy. By equity share capital how much? Second entry. Then two how much? 1 lakh. Then that profit on sale of own debentures. Own debentures. Again, buy debentures and the cancelled. Own debentures cancelled. 14,400. Then to PPE loss on sale. And the debenture holders have taken over at a loss of how much? 3 lakhs. The remaining plant property equipment written off. Difference. This remaining plant property equipment loss. Another loss of how much? 3 lakhs. The first one was taken over by debenture holders. Next one is loss, direct loss. Approve. 1 lakh 80,000. Then trade receivable, how much? 75,000 to inventory. Then to goodwill, 81,000 goodwill. To profit and loss account written off. Then that commitment paid to bank, that expenses paid 60,000. Tally this. The balancing for will go to which account? Capital reserve account. They ask you to prepare which account? Bank account also. To balance brought down. What is the opening balance in the opening balance sheet? 2 lakh. Then record all the receipts and payments. One lakh. Bien. We pay, we pay the money on the 1,68,000. Then இல்ல, on the own debentures then own debentures எவ்வளோ? Then then அவ்வளவுதானா? வராது. Because cash collection and payment only will. This will not come. This one. Bank account data to own debentures. Okay, to capital reduction. We get a layer. Then that commitments, capital commitments expenses paid. That's it. They ask you to prepare balance sheet. This is Jan 2025 question paper. Request you to go through the full question paper, then we will solve. They ask you to pass journal entry. They ask you to write a note only about which share capital. Read the full question. Read the full question number, the January 2025 question paper, then I will come back. Shall we? Look at the note for capital. 50,000 equity shares are fully paid. 25,000 equity shares are how much paid? 8 paid up. Preference shares are there, okay. P&L account, it's a debit balance, loss balance, negative balance. Debentures are given, freehold property is given, intangible assets, goodwill, non-current asset கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. Look at this. Uncalled capital to be called up. Then thereafter, it is reduced to what? 5 rupees each. So let us go one by one. Not a problem. Let us go one by one. Start. Okay. What is the entry for calling the uncalled capital? Start. Bank account data are to equity share capital account. Do it along with me. How many shares we have to collect the money? What is uncalled capital to be collected? 25,000 into 2. Do it along with me. Don't wait. 25,000 into 2. How much? Of course, 50,000. Then, what is the next one we are going to do? So, what is the entry we have to pass? How many shares are there balance sheet? Now, all are fully paid up. All are fully paid up. 75,000 shares are there. So, start. Equity share capital in each account debit. 7,50,000 into 10. Sir, 75,000 into 10. 7,50,000 to equity share capital. Of the amount வரும் 3,75,000 to capital reduction. Take it up along with me, don't need to wait. Next. Preference shareholders accepted a reduction of how much? 2.5, but dividend rate is increased to what? 9%. What is old preference share capital? 8% preference share capital account. Data, what is the value given? How much? 3 lakhs to 9% preference share capital. 2,25,000. That 2.75,000. 2.5 into 30. Please take it up along with me. No need to wait. Any doubt in it? Next. Preference shareholders will forego the claim of arrears of dividend for what? 1 year. 1 year they forego. Is it recorded as a liability in the balance sheet? No. So, what is the entry you will pass? Capital reduction account. Data are to which account? Equity share capital account. What is the preference shares? Arrears? Old arrears. 3 lakh into 8% into 2 by 12. Sorry, 3 lakhs into 8%. For how many years we have to give? 1 year wait, we have to pay for 2 years. We are allotting equity shares of 5 each for that same. That 1 year foregone, no entry because it's not a recorded liability. It's not a recorded liability. Take it out. What is the next one? Mr. X holds 10% debentures for 2,50,000. He is also creditors for how much? 50,000. He agrees to cancel 50% of the total debt, including interest, and pay 22,000 to the company and get what? 12% debentures for the balance amount. Read further. What and all X is holding? What and all X is holding? Debentures is a creditor. So first let us transfer. First let us transfer. What is the entry you will pass? Pass the entry. 10% debentures account debtor. Yellow amount 2 lakh. Then creditors account debit. Creditors account debit 50,000. Then what will be the outstanding interest? How? How? It is given interest payable on debentures. Liability sale உள்ள கொடுத்திருப்பாங்க. 45,000 is for 4,50,000 face value, means 45. Look at the liability side. Interest payable 45,000 is for 4,50,000, means this person is holding 25,000 now. Outstanding interest account data proportionately 25,000 to whose account? X account. What is the total? Listen to it, then you can take it up. Pay attention. 3,25,000. Look at the adjustment. Who is paying money? Whether the company is paying money to X or X is paying money to the company. Pay rupees 20,000 to the company. Who will pay? X will pay 20,000 to the company. So we are collecting money. Bank account data. Bank account data to which account? X account. How much he pays? 20,000. Then what is given? He'll receive 12%. Okay. He agrees to cancel how much? 50% of total debt. He agrees to cancel 50% of total debt and receives 12% debentures for which one? The balance amount கொடுத்திருக்கோம். Wait. Let us prepare Exode account. Exode account buy debentures how much? 2,50,000. by creditors 50,000, by outstanding interest how much? 25,000. By bank we paid how much? 20,000. Now, how much of debentures we need to issue? How much of debentures we have to issue? Balance will go to which account? Capital reduction account. Balance will go to capital reduction. New 12% debentures. We have to give what? 12% debentures. Any doubt in it? Debentures, creditors, outstanding interest. He gives 20,000. Total of 3,45,000. How much of 12% debentures to be given and how much of capital reduction to be done? That entry will be X account data to which one? 12% debentures account and which one? Capital reduction account. Till the amount started. Wonderful. How much will be 12% debentures? How much will be capital reduction? 3,45,000 into 50%. 1 lakh? Uh, correct. Sorry. This old amount due 50% waived. 2,50,000 plus 50 plus 25,000. So capital reduction will be 3,25,000. 3,25,000 into எவ்வளவு percentage? 50% waived. Correct. 162,500. 12% debentures will be allotted for the balance. 182,500. Correct. So we are to give 3,45,000. This 182,500 we are giving. And how much is foregone? 162,500 is foregone. 50% of the due. The 3,25,000 le 50%. Correct. Then what is the next one given? Remaining claim of debenture holders, including outstanding interest, to be reduced to what? 60%. They are given what? New preference shares at the new face value. What is the total debentures? 2 lakh. அதில் held by X. Balance. Two lakhs. For them, debentures account data are 2 lakhs. Outstanding interest. For this, it will be how much? For 2 lakh 50, if it is 25,000, for this 2 lakhs, it would have been how much? 20,000. To debenture holders, how much is waived, how much is payable? 60% waived, 40% payable. Reduced to 60%. Reduction is 40%. Reduction is 40%. For debenture holders, we have to pay how much? 60%. Take it. What is the next one? That is given. So 9% preference share, debenture holders, it will be given. Debenture holders account data. Debenture holders account data. To what? 9% preference share capital, 1,32,000. Then, what next? Taxation liability is settled at 1,20,000. Balance sheet 1 lakh. What is the entry you will pass? Provision for tax account data. How much is there in the balance sheet? 1 lakh. But we have to pay 1,20,000 we need to pay. Balancing for will be adjusted in which account? Cap reduction account data. The balance. What is the balance? 20,000. Excess paid gets adjusted with cap reduction account. What is the next one? Market value of non-current investment is how much? 2,50,000. What is the book value given in the balance sheet? 2,80,000 கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. So what is the entry you will pass? Capital reduction account data to investment account. How much? 30,000. Reduction is 30,000. Reduction is how much? 30,000. What is the next one? Inventory 1 lakh taken over by creditors in full settlement of their claims. Look at the liability side. What is the creditors account amount? Creditors amount 1,30,000 இருக்கு. But inventory in the balance sheet is, what is inventory in the balance sheet? Ah, so trade payable in the balance sheet 1,30,000. Yeah. Adala due to X adjusted already. How much? 50,000. Net creditors எவ்வளவு இருக்கு? 80,000. For this, the stock is taken over. So debit the receiver. Creditors account data are 80,000. Which one they are taking over? Inventory value பாருங்க. What is the balance sheet value of inventory? 1 lakh. So the balancing for is capital reduction. What is the next one? Provision for bad debts, the machinery to be written down. Okay, that we can combine, and we have to write off which one? Compulsorily, we have to write off which one? The P&L account debit balance you must eliminate. We can combine this in one entry. What is the entry will pass? Capital reduction account data compulsorily we have to write off which account? Profit and loss account compulsory, then data we have to write off, then what else is given? Goodwill we have to write off. How much it will come? P&L account balance, how much to be eliminated? 2,50,000. Debtors, they ask you to create a provision of how much percentage? 2% on debtors balance. What is the total debtors balance? 2% of that. How much it will be? Goodwill you have to write off. What is the goodwill you have to write off? Inventory rate up பண்ணுமா? We'll see. Prepare the capital reduction account and find out the balancing. The balancing for you have to write off from which one? No சொல்லிருக்கோம். What is given? That also you can combine. Plant and machinery account, how much you have to write off? 20% you have to write off. How much? How much? There is what? Two debtors, 2%. Next, prepare the capital reduction account. Record credits and debits. Balancing for nothing is mentioned. We can transfer to capital reserve. Balancing for we can transfer to capital reserve. அது அப்புறம் பார்த்துக்கலாம். First capital reduction போட்டு then we'll check the bank balance accordingly. We'll issue the debentures. We'll see. Oh. Balance of inventory we have to write off. அதில் add பண்ணிங்க to inventory account. To inventory account, on the how much balance is it? 1,30,000 lakh. 1 lakh has been already adjusted. Balance you have to write off. How much you have to write off? 30,000. Huh? How to 20,000? 20,000. Adjust the last entry itself. Then prepare the cap reduction account. Any answer for cap reduction? Hello, சொல்லுங்க. Good afternoon. சொல்லுங்க சார். சரிங்க சரிங்க. ஓகே நான் ஒரு கிளாஸ் முடிச்சுட்டு ஒரு 10-15 மினிட்ஸ்ல நான் உங்களுக்கு கால் பண்ணுறேன் சார். ஷூர் ஷூர். Cap reduction account, tell me the entries. நிறைய entry இருக்கு. By equity share capital how much? 3,75,000. அப்புறம் 8% preference share capital 75,000. Then X எவ்வளவு forgo பண்ணிருக்காங்க? 162,500. Then credit all the gains, amount foregone. Then 10% debentures எவ்வளவு இருக்கும்? 88,000. Then to equity share capital arrears upload and கொடுத்துருக்கோம். Then 20,000. Investments reduced எவ்வளவு? 40,000. Then inventory written off on the 20,000. Data on the bad debts. Then goodwill written off last entry like 60,000 to profit and loss account 2,50,000 written off. So plant and machinery written off. Plant and machinery written off how much? Then tally this. To inventory written off. Inventory written off to the extent of how much? அது மிஸ் அவுட் பண்ணிருக்கோமா அந்த மாதிரி பார்ப்போம். Because provision 4,600, correct. 97, 900. Something they tell you about bank OD and the மாதிரி. பேங்க் ஓடி ஏதோ சொல்லியிருக்கான் பாருங்க. We want to maintain a bank balance of how much? 85,000. அதுக்கு ரொம்ப simple. We can prepare bank account. We can prepare which account? Bank account. Opening balance is OD or normal balance? Buy balance brought down. We have 65,000. Then closing balance we want to maintain. Buy balance carry down. We want to maintain. Normal balance இருந்தா two balance brought down, buy balance carry down இருக்கும். How much we have to maintain? 85,000 required. This balance is required. This is OD balance. Opening balance is OD balance. Then see the collections and payments. என்னென்னலாம் collect ஆயிருக்கு? Equity, share capital எவ்வளவு இருக்கு? The calls and arrears collected 50,000. Then X ஏதோ pay பண்ணிருக்காங்க. 20,000 pay பண்ணிருக்காங்க. Then any other collection or payment? By tax paid எவ்வளவு tax pay பண்ணிருக்கோம்? 2 lakh, 1 lakh 20. Tax payment போட்டுக்கலாம். Tax paid 1,20,000. That's all. We have to maintain this 85,000 as a balancing for the issued debentures. For the balance, we'll issue debentures. See, we need this OD காக பைசா வேணும், tax pay பண்ணதுக்கு பைசா வேணும். Closing balance we have to maintain minus 2 lakhs we have to issue debentures. To maintain the balance of 85,000, we need to issue debentures for 2 lakhs. For that, one more entry you can pass. What is the entry you'll pass? Bank account data to debentures account. How much? Any doubt in it? Opening balance of OD is given. Equity shares, calls and arrear collected. From X, we collected 20,000. Closing balance is required. Tax we need to pay. Closing normal balance we have to maintain. OD balance. The normal balance we have to maintain means for the balance we need to issue which one? Debentures. Something else is asked. Note for revised which one? Capital structure of the company கேட்டிருக்காங்க. Tell me how many equity shares will be there? How many preference shares capital will be? What happened to old equity share capital? 10 each, it is reduced to what? 5 each. 10 each reduced to 5 each. So, old equity shares. How many shares are there? 75,000 shares are there. For the arrears of dividend, 48,000 rupees divided by 5 னா எவ்வளவு shares தந்திருக்கும்? 48,000 divided by 5 means how many shares? 9,600 shares தந்திருக்கும். Any other place equity shares are used? Old equity shares will continue and the 75,000 shares will continue. For arrears of dividend, why divided by 5 rupees? New values 5 rupees. New values 5 rupees. 9,600 shares. Total எவ்வளவு இருக்கும்? 84,600 shares of rupees 10 each. Or sorry, rupees 5 each. Take it. How much? 84,600 into 5 rupees each. Preference share capital. Old எவ்வளவு preference shares இருக்காங்க? Old preference shares. So 30,000 shares is reduced to 7.5 each. And anywhere we issued preference shares. எங்கேயாவது preference shares தந்திருக்கோமா பாருங்க. Anywhere we have given preference shares for debenture holders. Which debenture holder? 9% debentures of the new face value is issued. 9% debentures 1,32,000 கொடுத்திருக்கோம் இல்லையா? How many preference shares would have been given? How many preference shares would have been given? 1,32,000 divided by 7.5. This is given for whom? This is given for whom? Debentures ka. அப்போ எவ்வளவு தந்திருக்கும்? This is only 17,600. Old preference share எவ்வளவு இருக்காங்க? 30,000. So total 47,600 preference shares of how much? Rupees 7.5 each. So this will be 47,600 into 7.5. This will give us total value for the balance sheet. But it's a very good question, lengthy question also. They don't ask balance sheet, ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲತ್ತಿಗೂ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ.